Good morning, students. Good morning to all. So now the first lesson is going on. Today we can complete our first lessons. Okay. So already we have studied more about our macroeconomics and the features of macroeconomics and the importance of mixed and the types of economic system also. Okay. At last we have studied the circular flow of income. Okay, so now also we will study some elaborately about the circular flow of income. Okay. Yesterday also we have studied about the circular flow of income, so still just we will remind about that. Okay, so have you remember what I told on yesterday about the circular flow of income? So the circular flow of income is a model of an economy. It's showing some of the connection between different sectors of an economy. Okay, so I told so the sectors of the economy is, so the two sectors and three sectors and the four sectors. The sectors mean household and the firms and the government and the rest of world also, not the rest of world, the government and the firms and the households are called as the sectors. Okay, so the circular flow of model is showing the connection between the different economic sectors and the circular flow of income. So not approximately, accurately, the circular flow of income is shows flows of income, goods and services and factor of production between economic agents. So we have studied the sectors. The sectors only called as economic agents like firms, household and government. Okay, so by using the circular flow of income we can easily or clearly understand how the flows of income and goods and services and the factor of productions are moving from one sector to another two sectors. Okay, so normally the circular flow of income, three models of circular flow of income is there. In the circular flow of income, three models are there. Okay, first one is two sector model and three sector model and the four sector model. This also you have studied already, right? So in this two sector model, what are the factors? What are the factors are consisting in household and firms? Okay. Next, in three sector model, additional to the two sector model, one of the organization will come. Okay, so additional to the two sector model, one sector will come. So the one sector is government. Okay, next one is four sector model. Okay, in addition to the three sector model, one sector will be added. Okay, that's called rest of the world. Rest of the nation mean so all other nations, right? And the two sector model explain the simple economy with the household and the firms. Okay, simple differentiation and the relationship between the household and the firms. The three sector models also explain the relationship between the household, firms and government. And the four sector model also explaining the relationship and how the flows of incomes are moving from one sector to another three sectors. Okay, so in these four sector, so the two sector only is there considered as a major sectors, are very important, are the basic sectors. Okay, so whichever factors mean the first two sector is there, household sectors and the firms. These two sector only called as a basic or the important sector. Okay, because without these three we can't create the three sector and four sector. Okay, without these two, household and the firms, we can't create the government and the rest of the world. Okay, so even in this two sector model, the household sector only is considered as very important, very dominant portions of factors. Okay, so first if you are taking the household, okay, this household, all the persons are being and all the houses are considered as a society, right? So we can consider all the society, the family in all society is considered as a household. Okay, why this household is considered as a basic sector mean, so all the factors, all other factors, whatever is needed by the other three factor is coming from household only. Okay, for example, if you are considering the farms, okay, what farms will be in need of? So the farms will be need the factor of productions. Okay, so the factor of productions. Okay, then how the farms will be occupy or will be collect the factor of production from the household only. Okay, so mainly the farms will be in need of labor and capital. Okay, so labor and capital and sometimes the land also will be collected and gathered by the household sector. Okay, so the particular or some of the number of person in every household sector is going to the farm to produce enough the commodities in the form of factor of production, right? But likewise, so the farms also will be very dominant role for the household sector. Okay, because whatever need is created by the household sector is gathered by the or gathered from the farms only. Okay, because the human wants is created by the man. Okay, so the we can say the human wants is created from the household. Okay, but who will satisfy the wants created from the household? Farms only. Okay, so whatever wants and needs is arised from the household is fulfilled by the farms. Okay, but fulfilling the human wants of human needs from the household is fulfilled by the BAMs with factor of production is coming from household, right? I understand or not? Okay, so simply if you want to say the household and the farms are very dominant factor and the basic factor. Okay, but the household and the farms only will be depending each others. Okay, so farms always are mostly depending upon the household sector. The household sector also will be mostly depending upon the farms for fulfilling or satisfy their wants and needs. Okay, likewise the farms also have to be mostly depending upon the household sector by gathering the factor of production from the household sector. Okay, okay, now we will study some elaborately about how the flows of income, factor of production and goods and services are moving from one factor to other factor. Okay, from the household sector to farms. Okay, just when you are seeing this picture a diagram, so the goods and services is coming from the farms to household sector. Okay, so the goods and services is coming from farms to household. Okay, and the factor of production, so all the factor of production is coming from household to farms. Okay, so the farms need factor of production to producing any of the commodities. Okay, so the demand for or the need for the farm is coming from the household sectors. Okay, what farmers need, so the factor of production. Okay, so the factor of production is coming from the household sector to the farms. Okay, next the farm is produced any of the commodity by using the factor of productions. Okay, and after producing the commodities the farms only send the goods and services to the household, right? So the need for the household, what the household will be in need of the goods and services. Okay, so the farm only have to provide the goods and service to the household. Okay, so here the outer circle is there, the goods and services and the factor of production. This outer circle is called real flow. Okay, real flow means So the goods and services and the factor of production is the basic for the both sector, household sector and firms. Okay, the basic needs of the family is factor of production. The basic needs of the household sector, goods and services. Okay, so the goods and services and the factor of production, this outer circle is called as a real flow. Okay, that income flow and the goods. Okay, so now if you want to see the very clear cut of the clarification, the household will get some of the remunerations in the form of wage, rent, dividend by the firms. Okay, and so the firm also will get their profit or earning from the consumer, from the household sector in the form of consumer expenditures. Understand clearly? Okay, so just so the household sector is need some of the commodity. Okay, but there is no commodity, so the firms only will able to produce the commodities. Okay, now if the firm want to produce any of the commodities, what it is needed? So the factor of production. Okay, so from where it will be getting the factor of production? So from the household. Okay, so from the household it will be taking the factor of production. Okay, for that the firms will provide the wage, rent and dividends in the form of their reputations, in the form for the purpose of producing the commodities. Okay, so the household sector will get their income in the form of wage, rent and dividends for the purpose of sending the factor of production, right? Next, the household sector is need consumer goods. Okay, so the consumer good is coming from the firms. Okay, so now this household sector will be provided some of the value to the firms. In which value it will be provided? The expenditure, the consumer expenditure for the for their produce is produced by the firm is give to the firm. Understand? Simply the goods and services is produced by the firms and provided to the household sector. Okay, so for that the consumer will provide the money and the form of consumer expenditure. Okay, the firms are producing the commodities by using the factor of production, so it will taking from the household sector. Okay, but for factor of production will need some amount of the money for the production function. Okay, so the factor of production will get their remuneration in the form of wage, rent and dividends. Okay, the way, so in two sector model economy or two sector model circular flow of income, the sales and income will be the same. Okay, because whatever how much of amount of income is earned by the household sector is automatically going to the firm itself by the way of consuming the commodity produced by the firms, right? Okay, so the basic identities of the two sector economy are as under. So the income is equal to consumption plus investment. Okay, the consumption plus investment. The consumption is created by household sector, investment is made by firms. Okay, so now so whatever the consumption expenditure is always going to the firms. Okay, these firms only make the investment. How they made the investment? How much amount is taken from the household sector? So by using this amount only, it will make the investment. Okay, so when we are calculating the total income, it is equal to consumption, expenditure and the investment. Okay, good. I hope you can believe. So you can understand. Okay, student. Next, the circular flow of income in a three sector economy. Okay, or a three sector circular flow of income. Okay, this is also called as a domestic circular flow of income and spending. Okay, so already we have studied, how the flow of income and the factor of production and the goods and service is moving from one sector to another one of the sector. Okay, from firms to household. Okay, now in this three sector model, another one of the sector also is coming between the household and the farms. Okay, so in three sector model, why we are taking as the government mean? So the government is also providing more benefit to the farms and the household. Okay, in which form the government providing the more benefit or more gain to the both farms and household sector mean? See, so the household sector is always pay some of the tax to the government. Okay, even if the household are earning or not earning, it must paying some amount of money to the government. Okay, the household sector must paying some amount in the form of tax to the government. Okay, so government also expect or depending on the farms. Okay, because some of the need of the government is also fulfilled by the farms. Okay, normally the farms only produced all the commodities needed by the household and government. Okay, so the government also spend some of the purchase some of the commodities from the farms. Okay, so like that the farms also have to pay the tax to the government. Okay, for the purpose of production and the distribution and the income and the manufacture, different type of the tax is paid by the farms to the government. Okay, so like that the government by having or by receiving the tax from the farms, it will provide the social transfer. Social transfers means the welfare activities or the welfare measures to the household sectors. Okay, the education, road facilities and hygienic and toilets and the infrastructure, road and so many of the infrastructure facilities given to the household sector only by the government. Okay, so now if the household sector and the farm also must be need the government, and the government also must be depending on the farms and household for their tax payment. Okay, here the government also depending the farms to purchasing the commodity produced by the farms. Okay, next, purchase of goods and services from household to farms. Okay, on the basis of the demand, so the farms only will be produced the commodity. Okay, so what are the demand is created by the household is fulfilled by the farms. For that, the purchase of goods and services is going to the farms. Next, the farm also will providing the wage, dividends, interest, profits and rent in the form of income. Okay, so the income of the household is provided by the farm. So the demand of the household is created by the farms, right? Okay, now so the purchases of goods and services is created by the household. So the relationship between the household and the farm is also explained by the outer flow. Okay, the farm also have to depending or providing the income to the household sector by using the factor of production in the form of wages, dividend, interest, profit and rent. Okay, so here and this is the relationship between the household and farms. Okay, next, what's the relationship between the household and government mean? The household have to pay the tax amount to the government. Okay, by using the tax paid by the household sector, the government also giving some of the social transfer. Social transfer means the social infrastructure facilities. Okay, so like that, the government also purchasing some of the product produced by the farms like household sector. Okay, like the household sector, the farm government also have to depend or have to need of purchasing the commodity produced by the farms. Okay, so for that the farms also paying some of the taxes to the government. Okay, when the government purchasing of the commodities, they have to pay for the price for the commodity is separate one. Okay, but now the relationship between the government, household, farms is going by taxes and the social transfers, and as we studied in the first two sector model, wages, dividend and interest, and purchase of goods and services by the household sector. Okay student, I think you may have understand, but if you don't understand, please ask me. Okay, so under the three sector model, so national income is obtained by adding consumption expenditure, investment expenditure and government expenditures. Okay, so we can draw the formula for the national income is equal to consumption and the investment and the government expenditure. Okay, so income is equal to consumption and the investment and government expenditures. Okay, so already we have studied, income is equal to consumption and the investment. Okay, plus additionally if you are adding the government expenditure, okay, that also will come to adding to the income. Okay students, next the four sector economy. Okay, four sector economy is nothing, so additional of the three sector economy, one more sector will add or including. Okay, so already we have studied the three sector economy. Whatever was going on three sector economy, everything will be happen in this four sector economy also, but here rest of the world mean the open economy will be available, so the international trade will be happen. Okay, so whatever is produced by the firms and government is going to another one of the world. Okay, and whatever is need by the government and the firm is, it will be import from the rest of the world. Okay, so what are the benefit was arised in three sector economy? By having this benefit, so we can make the conduct or the relationship between the rest of the world. Okay, now we can easily undertaking the import and export. Okay, so in addition of the three sector economy, so one sector economy will be included. Okay, so now we can easily understand the income. The income is equal to consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus export minus import. Okay, because in this four sector economy, so we have to keep one thing in our mind, so we must deduct the value of import. Okay, so when after deducting the value of import, how much amount is there as a net, that amount only will be added into the income. Okay, so when we are calculating the income, so income is equal to consumption expenditure plus investment plus government expenditure plus so the export minus import. Okay, then we will get the national income by using the four sector circular flow of income. Okay student, so we have completed the first lesson. Okay, so if you have any doubt in this first lesson, just you can ask, and you must ask whatever doubt you have. Okay, and not only that, just to study from in your home, you have any book. Okay, so mostly just to study the scope of macroeconomics and the compare the future among the capitalism, secularism and mixedism. Okay, so not only these two questions, just I am giving some of the study portion. When you have the time, just to study, and if you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay, thank you students. So next day onwards we will go to any of the second lesson.